story question mark.
Characters, voice acting. Oh, the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And, the camera angles. I always heard a lot of people had problems with the camera angles. Until that Tyrant battle, they weren't really that annoying.
Yeah, oh man, that first Tyrant battle, that was just horrible.
And it's literally like right where you want to stop so you can turn is right where it cuts the angle.
Right. And, I'll give Resident Evil credit. It didn't do that a lot. It didn't do that all the time. But when it did, boy, did it. It made me think of Tomb Raider, which was a lot worse because it wasn't just fighting things. It was fighting things as well as platforming.
Yeah.
With horrible camera angles.
Never played Tomb Raider.
And you will never see me play it. I refuse to ever play that game again.
I have the complete 50-issue comic book series.
Oh, well. That's sort of a thing with you. It's like you get all the lore and the back canon, but you never experience the actual original.
I've actually always kind of had a fascination with tie-in media.
Oh, okay.
Of how do you... I've always... And this is why I like remakes, too, of take something that exists and do something with it. Either retell it or tell something that attaches to it. That's just always been something that fascinates me.
I think you'll really enjoy what I've got in mind for Targeted then. Because, that's part of the point of the project. It's not just the films. It's going to have all these ridiculous tie-ins. It's sort of lampooning the whole tie-in industry.
If you ever need to ferret out any of that to someone...
I would not be opposed to working with you on some story expansion for some of the video game in particular. I want to make a point-and-click adventure out of the story.
Let's take every single character who even pops up in the background and build something around them.
Oh, yeah. That's what I want to do with Targeted.
Yeah.
I always feel bad for the people who watch these particular streams who aren't in on the whole Chris thing.
I think, though, it helps that we actually... told the story of Chris maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we did. We're pretty good with the repetition.
We always found someone new to reveal it to. And share it with. Unleash it upon their
every
soul.
time that he would come up, each consecutive time, there was it took longer and longer to describe it because we had found out exponentially so much more by that point about it.
It was a new branding iron we could mark them with.
It's I kind of want to go back. I never go back and watch these streams, but I kind of want to go back and watch the first one.
I did watch the first couple because that was when we were discovering Chris.
Right. Yeah, that's what
we were following the walkthrough, and then we were just like, "Whoa, what's this? Hey, what's this about me? What's the goodbye section? What are these lectures?"
Stumbled into a gold mine.
Lectures.
I
just love how it's lecture number 18, the last lecture. Okay, here's what the entire plot has been so far. See, now we're back to talking about Chris. We can't escape him.
No, and I mean, it's going to happen.
If you do a game tie-in to Targeted, I will do my best to write a Chris-styled walkthrough on it.
Oh my God, yes, you need to.
I would just actually put the walkthrough out there with all of his contact information from the Resident Evil 1.
Just copy-paste the whole about me, yeah.
And then he'll write an entire walkthrough piece of, this walkthrough is a lie, it is not me.
Put it up on GameFAQs and everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be lonely streams without Chris now.
Oh, that should be the title of our memoir, Lonely Streams Without Chris.
Lonely Streams Without Chris. What are we going to do, though? What are we going to do? Nobody's going to come watch it anymore. Be like, it's just, no Chris.
I don't know if anyone has probably ever read that walkthrough in the detail that we have, unless they were Chris, who we know read it at least 20 times.
That is being extremely conservative.
We've read it about 4 or 5 ourselves.
I don't know how familiar you are with guitar tablature or trying to find chords online for songs, but 9 out of 10 of them are just dead wrong. You wonder if the people were even listening to the same song that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Chris's Resident Evil walkthrough is the walkthrough version of those tabs.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing is, it's so sad that not only did he do that and that we gave so much of ourselves to it, but it was so worth it in the end, just because it was a unique bonding experience for you and I.
No, I agree. Yeah, I'll agree with that for sure.
I mean, if we were just following a rote, mechanical, absolutely precise walkthrough, would we have had the same amount of fun that we had?
No, I don't think so. Life is what you make it. That's what we made it with this, and I'm going to endeavor to make the rest of my life Chris-free now.
Oh, by the way, I found Chris's YouTube channel.
That's a face that I'm making right now. You can't hear it, but
it's all just footage of his car, his Ford Taurus. Here's it revving. Look at the tires. It's actually under a different name.
Okay, wow, he's learned that you can have more than one identity on the internet. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Chris, he's grown so much. It's like we've watched him grow up from boyhood into, well, whatever.
I don't know. I don't have any other words of wisdom to share that Chris hasn't already mistyped.
I think Chris has pretty much said it all for all of us, really.
And as he said, this is his last.
This is his last. That's from Chris 1512.
It was simultaneously a legacy and a discovery.
And a disgrace. He was like, yeah, you know what? Put it up. GameFAQs' joke. It's like an Easter egg, and we found it.
I mean, literally, yeah. I don't know that we could, if we searched for a worse walkthrough, I don't know that we would just find one. It's just we literally had to stumble on it just because the camera angle changed.
It sounds like we have a mission now.
Find another horrible walkthrough.
Find a worse walkthrough.
Well, I think...
Or even an equally bad one.
What we need to do is search for a fact that also includes an About Me section.
That's, the first piece I agree. That's a very good filter.
That's stage one of our journey.
And that'll be the next game we stream.
We just can't... I'm going to miss this experience. Why can't this experience keep going? And yet if it did keep going, we would hate it.
Stockholm Syndrome with Noel and Vaude.
Exactly. It's gone on just the right length.
Maybe for you, who only had to read it, try following this motherfucker's advice, though. See if you feel the same way.
Yeah, how are the controls, too?
Yeah, surprisingly, you get used to them. The main problem that I had with the controls was that whenever it would get to the block pushing puzzles, I would temporarily, for some reason, my brain would just forget that you're supposed to push up to go forward.
Though it was always fun with the lag of like finding out 5 seconds later that you went into a door you weren't supposed to go in. No.
It's like, yeah, it seems like I played up a lot of the frustration. No, most of that frustration that you heard from me was legitimate.
We got through it, though.
We did.
We beat it on the easiest setting with a walkthrough.
But, oh, man, Chris is so obnoxious. He is not good at this. He is not good at this.
No, he's not.
What seals it for me is that uppity tone that he starts taking at certain points.
It's like you can tell where he's just tired and pissed off and he's like, I don't want to have to tell you how to do this.
It's like, hey, man, what did I do to you?
It's like, I don't want to have to do it. Why don't you save it until you come back for phase 17?
Well, actually, I guess I can't say what did I do to you because... We've slacked on him quite a bit.
Yeah, we've got like 7.5 hours of audio of what we retroactively...
Well, Chris, if you actually are listening to this from some weird reason...
We've retroactively deserved it.
Yeah. I'm sure you're a really nice guy, but you're fucking horrible at writing walkthroughs. I'm glad you're not doing it anymore. Wish you well in life.
Chris, I hope they don't have you writing the Ford Taurus instruction manual. It's like the layout for the control console is, that's how you turn on the radio. Oh, here's what's really exciting. If you press this, you change it from AM to FM. If you don't know what the eject button is, I'm not going to tell you. You should know by now.
And then he writes out the entire playlist for all of his local stations.
Air conditioning lecture number 4.
You can turn it on to heat if the weather gets cold, but I never do that. Alternate
seat control endings. I'm like still processing the fact that it's done. It's like I've gotten sunk myself so into the mindset.
What will I dread now? Oh, Chris.